Well, it's great to be here on this auspicious evening, back with the Art Bar. The Art Bar is like the Phoenix, so it's the newest incarnation. And this venue, the Free Times, is very dear to my heart because I had a series here in a previous decade, not that long ago, the last decade. So it's great to be back on familiar terrain. And this place and also Art Bar has been just a very important part of my life as far as an aspiring poet. And now it is 2 books, so that's exciting. And I will begin just in light of the history of this place and how important it's been for me. I wanted to start with a couple of older poems. One from my first book, Subway Medusa, and this is called The Leprechaun. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, even back there? Okay, great. Uprooted from his native Ireland, he wanders the city, pulling pranks everywhere. Little regard for humans, especially the gullible. If you're quick enough, you can make him laugh. I did, once. Cruelty is his nature, a sleight of hand, and he's exchanged seduction for mimicry. We played a card game. I trumped his king, caught him off guard, gained entrance to his basement apartment, and lay down on his green sheets. Sorry, I messed my stickies up. I'm attempting to be organized, and that did not work. Okay, here it is. And one more old favorite, albino crow. The thing was kept in a scratched up plexiglass box among passenger pigeons and other extinct birds. Its fake red eyes, not even a glimmer. Revive the albino crow, fling it into midnight air, into black sky with white stars. Exit to the other side, white sky, black stars. Okay, so those are 2 poems from my first book, Subway Medusa. I'll move to Forecast, the second book, which came out in 2014. And there is a poem that does have a shout out to the Free Times Cafe, so I thought I have to read that one. It's called The Beginnings of Poetry. Because the tangerine floor, trapdoor, close entrance, because of solitary rooms and a love of the hermetic, because of bullying, because it was never forced or encouraged, because of art school's salient critique, because loud and garrulous, because the throes of images, book after book, because New Orleans, Dominican Republic, Horseshoe Bay, because early internet insomnia, because the Free Times Cafe, because of momentary angels, accidental lightning, because of fallen matchsticks, cigarette ash, and morning breath, orange-red afterglow, because of music's cruel abandonment at concert's end, because it is more elegant to wend desire through symbol, because language invents me, the pulse of throat, tickle of heart, because corrosion happens, avalanche blackouts, words in braille, because Pluto was demoted from planet, because the cosmic microwave background, because photons dance off my palms past the fry pan, because eating a double chocolate scoop of the universe whole, because I coalesce, then contradict, too small to fit inside seasons, because the harbor turned me away, because eyes dipped in silver watched over the bedside table, because loss, because hearing, because is essential to a braid surface, because tenacious near death hovering above my body, because of surgery, night blue buses, because the twist. Thank you. Compatriot. Those planes crashing into the towers weren't real, he tells me. They were holograms. I've been told many strange things over the years. This is one of the strangest. He's giving a speech at the conference on 9/11 Truth. I should go. I have not been intellectually responsible. And the conversation soon shifts to one I have no say in. Eisenhower, aliens, the Bilderbergers, Illuminati, weather control agents. Global warming is a hoax, don't you know? He throws me a cavalcade of creatures. Each wears a false face, hiding a fake flag. The podium of power keeps shifting, covering up their vile plots of world domination. Who is the main boogeyman? The reptiles, apparently. He flashes a chlorine-titled paperback long enough for me to read. Children of the Matrix, how an interdimensional race has controlled the world for thousands of years and still does. The cover bears a reptilian eye merged with human iris. Its unblinking gaze follows me home. So for a while I was having dreams with different motifs in them. For a while it was tornadoes, and then it was dragons. Now some different motifs are happening, which I think are more positive ones, and that's good, but not that those are necessarily negative, but a bit disconcerting in some ways. And I chose to write about just one of those motifs here. It's called Dreaming of Dragons. I've been dreaming of dragons lately, cosmic, seafaring, earthy, everything dragons, and I don't know what to think. My best friend tells me they're mostly incorporeal, ambassadors for good or ill, emblems of sexuality. Last night, a dragon slumbering in a diamond mine was jarred awake by jackhammers. Deeply offended, he fled to the nearest village to stir up support for a ban on excavations. In another dream, a dragon emerged from a lake and tore through the landscape, dragging hydro lines and houses like tin cans from a just married car. I've been dreaming of dragons, and I don't know what to think. Each morning under my pillow, I find pearly scales, incandescent eggs, indigo teeth. Somewhere a dragon is dreaming me. And I guess continuing on with the mythic theme here, this is called Fire Scrying. She says she has fire in her, and you believe it, wouldn't want to cross her. Her rage is devastating, an inescapable desert sun, Medea in her blazing chariot, scorching anything in her path. She can make all kinds of fire, green, white, blue, send fire burning across water, flash it away. You have gazed into her bowl of flames, seen faces, whirling wheels, and hands, caught glimpses of your life ahead. And you keep wondering what her part will be, how many of those flaming fingers are hers. Okay, the last section of the poem is all poems that are inspired by tarot cards. The major arcana, and throughout the rest of the book I have a smattering of minor arcana cards. This one is the Eight of Swords, and it's a rather stark image. Well, I'll let the poem speak for itself, but if you're familiar with that card, you'll know about what that card is about. Eight of Swords. A circle of swords radiates like a maze around me. An abandoned castle high on a cliff looms at my back. I had to leave that fortress, though its confines provided security, a view of a marshland that would one day sink me entirely. And I hear your voice, mirroring steel. Go save your own damn self. I was waiting my turn to be rescued. Witness the recovery of stones, the rounding of corners, the pathway forward, a possible labyrinth. Where's James? Can't, okay, there you are. So I decided to read this poem for you because of your Ireland trip.
Okay.
And I still haven't been there myself, but I'm dreaming of going there. I hope it will happen one day, but this is for you. It's called Irish Witches. An Irish witch requires no effort crossing over. She's already halfway to the Summerland, consorting with angels, demons, Celtic gods, and her deceased great aunt on the O'Leary side. An Irish witch chooses Yeats as her familiar, conjures him to appear, and then changes his human form. Irish witches aren't like the English, cooped up in damp estates, or those American witches who bring cell phones to ritual. An Irish witch wears the land as her second skin, visits the sea daily, and when she returns home, the tides miss her. Irish witches rarely use dating sites, and if they do, only niche ones. Sure, they'll have you over to the cottage for tea and soda bread if they like the lilt in your voice. But you must ask yourself, is the cat huddled by the fireplace really a cat? Okay, and I've had a fascination with the Victorian era. Of course, we romanticize these things, and I think the life expectancy was 38 or something, dreadful like that. So, I don't know about going back in time for that era. That's kind of a bleak statistic there. But nevertheless, it's kind of a fascinating time still, the 19th century, and in light of some of my Victorian literature studies, I wrote this poem, A Victorian Life. My life began drearily, daughter of a minor clerk and a woman who died in childbirth. At 20, courted by a melancholic who threatened suicide if we didn't marry. Tired of dragging my petticoats through sludge, I acquiesced. We were happy for a while until he began to frequent brothels. Soon after, his precious angel became a lunatic whore. Cast adrift, I discovered the bohemian circle, artists' faces gloomy as the maroon of parlor walls. I dabbled in theosophy, spiritualism, joined a secret society, an offshoot of the Golden Dawn, had an affair with a magus. We were mad for each other, twin souls, and shortly thereafter, my husband died. I was accused of murder. Plagued by peculiar nightmares, I fled to Canada and crossed it by rail, registering under a pseudonym at the Empress Hotel. Visitors come and go. Daily, I read tea leaves for signs of the approaching century. A raven perched on a cross, a sword piercing a cloud. I'll read another one of the tarot poems. This one is the Ten of Cups card, which is a very positive card, but also it's kind of the climax of many things. So sometimes when you're at that peak, where do you go from there as well, right? So that's something I'm exploring in this poem. So Ten of Cups. For so long it hid from you, the sapphire-encrusted grail you hoped for, wanting to drink from a cup just out of reach. Marriage, it was predicted, would come late. No impetuous wish could speed the process. This was the gift of Saturn. And here you are, family at 40, adopted son, daughter of your own. Venture capitalist, world traveler, the man you married grew up 2 blocks from you in the country of your birth. Now the Pacific in your backyard, tennis court by the water's edge, a line of clothing in your name, vineyard brimming. As you sit in your marine drive home, glass of Merlot in hand, you realize you've achieved the fantasy. Palm trees sway in breaking cascade, a mile away from the fault line. The The woman and the anchor. Before her is a great expanse of unknown, nothing but vagueness. She stands on a rocky cliff, wind-lashed, wanting to leave this place, stuck. She is trying to lift a giant anchor, twice her size. It's futile. She imagines strong arms coming to her aid. Years pass like clouds. One day, without effort, she tosses the anchor into the sea. In the far distance, a ship unfurls its sails. So I think I will finish with a poem that's in a bit of a different style from the book, and the reason I do want to read it is someone told me, never read that poem again, it's the worst poem in the book. So it's reverse psychology, and in light of that I thought, yeah, I'm going to read that again. Okay. So I think it's a good place to end. It's called Confessions of a Self-Help Addict. No more psychotherapy, I've taken matters into my own hands. Well-being is destiny. The world does not exist beyond my inner self. I am a self-help addict. Don't tell my family I've spent my inheritance on motivational retreats. I chant, you are what you think, you can have it all, quitters never win, and believe me, I won't quit. I own all 21,647 self-help books on Amazon.com. Chapter by chapter, I dive into repressed memory, lose pounds just thinking about my childhood. I discover my personal power while operating heavy equipment. I listen to Dr. Phil on my iPhone in the shower. I'm evolving. Have decided to love all my exes unconditionally, but only after they live up to their full potential. I'm guilt-free, actualized, yelling, don't sweat the small stuff, to anyone having a meltdown. I'm moving forward, leaving behind the codependents, enablers, anger repressors, and anyone who speaks from negativity. They're confined to my closet. No one comes between me and my self-esteem. Thank you.